Thanks, Ben, and thanks to Fernando, Chris, and Aaron for some great presentations as well. Okay. So at Lithium Energy, we believe in three things. Yes? Sorry, I thought you... All right. We believe in three things. Firstly, we believe in the fundamental drivers behind the forecast growth in electric vehicles and the demand for lithium batteries. Secondly, we believe that the two most important ingredients for those batteries, being lithium and graphite, are not going to be replaced anytime soon. And thirdly, we believe that Lithium Energy provides a unique investment opportunity for investors who want exposure to the growing battery minerals space. We believe this because we are fairly unique in the ASX space in that we have both a very exciting lithium project and a graphite project all in one company, which gives investors the opportunity to get exposure to both those two key battery minerals through the one investment. Our lithium project in Argentina, the Solaroz lithium project, we've just made a significant lithium discovery there. The potential upside there is easy to see when you look at our neighbours. We're right next door to two lithium production facilities, Allchem, who have been producing from there since about 2016, and Lithium Americas, who have just invested close to $1 billion in developing a production plant in the same Olaroz Salar. We're in the middle of an intensive drilling program aiming to define our first maiden resource there later on this year, and we've just kicked off a scoping study as well. With regard to the graphite, the Burke graphite deposit is one of the highest grade graphite deposits in the world. It's located right here in Australia, in Queensland. We've already done substantial test work on it, which confirms it's very suitable for use in electric vehicle batteries, and we're just about to kick off a pre-feasibility study on that project, and there's also significant exploration upside with a neighbouring deposit we have. Just a bit of corporate background. Lithium Energy we did an IPO in 2021, in May 21. It was one of the best performing IPOs of the year. We initially raised about $9 million at the IPO and raised a further 15 through Canaccord. Thanks, Gavin. Late last year. And we've still got about $12 million left in the bank, which is more than enough to fund the programs that I'm just going to spend a few minutes talking about now. So the Solaroz lithium brine project in Argentina. If you're going to look for a long life, high margin lithium project, there's no better location as far as we're concerned than in the heart of the lithium triangle and in Argentina. Hopefully there's no government officials from Bolivia here who are going to be offended when I say that Bolivia provides a few higher sovereign risks compared to Argentina. And we certainly have found that Argentina has been very supportive of the work that we've done, and we know that Aaron's sort of found the same. Chile also has some great resources, but the government there's been imposing some fairly tight restrictions on companies developing projects. So in our view, if you're going to be looking at doing a lithium brine project, Argentina is the place to be. And other existing projects have demonstrated, particularly if you look at Allchem, that lithium brine projects from Argentina can be amongst the lowest on the lithium carbonate cost curve globally. And we believe there's no better address to have a lithium brine project in Argentina than where we are located. We are on the northwest corner of the Olaroz Salar. We have 12,000 hectares, which is a massive land holding, and our concessions here are shown in red. The yellow concessions are the ones held by Allchem. This is a picture of their production facility, which is located right here. Here are their production bore fields. So you can see we're very, very close to Allchem's facility. And the blue here are the concessions owned by Lithium Americas. They've just spent $1 billion building their production facility down here. So we're in a fantastic location with great neighbours. And one of the benefits of being on this salar as well is that because of the significant investment that's already been made in this area, there's supporting roads. I mean, there's paved roads all the way from the regional capital of Jujuy You can drive all the way here on paved roads. There's existing power. This is a gas pipeline that happens to run through our concessions. So we've got great neighbours and a great location, which is very well serviced by infrastructure. And also, as Aaron pointed out, one of the key things you need for a successful brine evaporation project is a large land area. Oops, wrong button, sorry. We do have 12,000 hectares to play with, so we've got significant areas to potentially locate our brine ponds if we decide to go down that track. So we're about almost halfway through a 10-hole drilling program, and our objective from this program is to define what we expect to be a globally significant resource of high-quality lithium at Solaroz. The first hole, which was located in the west here, we had cumulative intersections of over 230 metres of lithium-rich brines with average grades between 450 and 500 milligrams per litre, which are really good grades in the brine space. Also of interest, the other characteristics of the brine and the host material, the porosities and specific yields, are also very, very high compared to other projects. And these are really important. If you think about a brine project as being a sponge full of the valuable liquid, the measure of the specific yields and porosities really measures how much of the valuable brine you can get out of that sponge. And we're very fortunate that so far the results that we're getting are very positive. In the third hole we drilled, where we've got the results back again, we've had some significant intersections, cumulatively approximately 200 metres of lithium again, with very good grades, and again the same very positive porosities and specific yields. Also, interestingly, the magnesium to lithium ratio is very, very low, and that's really another key positive characteristic in favour of projects on this salar. The chemistry of this salar is very well known and renowned for having the low magnesium, which makes it a lot easier and less costly to develop lithium carbonate from these brines. We've so far completed 3 holes. We've just moved our rigs. We've got 2 rigs currently operating. We're hopefully about to sign another one and get a 3rd rig going. So we've just started holes 4 and 5. As I mentioned before, that's of an initial 10-hole program, at the end of which we're hoping to define a globally significant maiden resource of lithium. And so far, all the results we've been seeing from the exploration, the geophysics, the drilling have been really, really positive. The brine chemistry, as I mentioned before, it's well known in that salar, given that Allchem have been producing lithium carbonate there since 2016. And the recovery characteristics, like specific yields and so forth, to date, they're all positive indicators for the potential future economic development of brine from our project at Solaroz. And again, because of its location, we know that the traditional method of producing lithium carbonate through the brine evaporation process works, and works very well there. The climate's well suited, and as I mentioned before, there's plenty of good infrastructure, and we do have a lot of land area there. However, I'm sure many of you have heard there's new technologies known as direct lithium extraction, or DLE technologies, which are quickly emerging and potentially have the benefit to deliver a technology or a solution to produce lithium carbonate from brines in much shorter time frames, potentially for lower capital costs, and potentially with reduced environmental impacts. So this is one of the things that we're now going to be starting to look very closely at. We're very confident in the scale and the quality of the resource that we're going to define. So we've now started work undertaking a scoping study, or a PEA, to essentially evaluate the alternative processing technologies and look at the sort of economics and commercials behind those. So when we get to the stage of completing our scoping study, we'll have a fairly clear indication as to which processing path we are going to go down, whether it's a brine evaporation path or a DLE path, or perhaps a combination of the two. So over the next sort of 8 to 12 months, we're going to be very busy with continuing with our resource development, finishing the first stage of our initial drilling program, which will then be followed by infill drilling program. We'll be looking to drill some production test wells, taking some samples of brines to do some test work, and also we'll be looking very closely at seeing if we can set up a pilot plant or 1 or 2 pilot plants to demonstrate our ability to produce battery-grade lithium from the project. So, as I mentioned, the focus now for the next couple of months is finishing our drilling program to establish our JORC mineral resource, undertaking the scoping study to evaluate the technical and commercial alternatives for advancing the project. And very importantly, we're continuing to build our local capability there. We've already built an office there with just over 20 staff now, and they're doing a fantastic job supporting and undertaking the drilling campaign there. And we're sort of getting set for them to start work on the ongoing studies that we're about to kick off as well. Now, Burke, graphite. So graphite is one of the, I guess, those minerals that people are only now starting to recognise the importance of it to the battery minerals industry. Most people don't realise there's more graphite by weight in a lithium-ion battery than there is lithium. So people are now starting to recognise that. We've had this project on our books since 2016, and it's one of the highest grade graphite deposits in the world. We've already established a resource there of over 6 million tonnes at an average grade of 16% graphite. So we have over 1 million tonnes of contained high-grade flake graphite, and within that resource there's over 2 million tonnes at over 20%. One of my subsequent slides, I'll show you a section with some recent drilling where we've had some amazing intersections of over 20% graphite repeatedly in multiple drill holes over very wide intersections. We've previously done a lot of test work on this material too, and the work that's been done has confirmed that we're able to produce graphite concentrate of very high purity, and very interestingly, the test graphite anodes we've produced from unpurified spherical graphite equals or exceeds the sort of the characteristics required for battery grade. So once we go through the next stage of test work and do some more purification and sterilization for the graphite, we're very confident that we're going to be able to produce a high value battery ingredient from Burke. One of the really important aspects of this project too is that its location. I mean, we're located in Queensland, not too far away from the emerging battery minerals hub of Townsville. So the two key attributes of this project in summary are extremely high grade. In fact, for our resource, we have a cut-off grade of 6% graphite, which is actually probably more than the total grade of some of the larger projects you might be aware of in other countries. And very low sovereign risk given its location here in Australia. What's really exciting for us is the potential for us to move down the value chain and produce purified spherical graphite. Now, this is an essential ingredient for battery anodes. Currently, most of the PSG is made in China, and we think there's a fantastic opportunity in Australia to bring that manufacturing here to Australia, where we can focus on delivering a high-value product in a very environmentally sustainable way. And we think there's an enormous opportunity to substitute the supplies of PSG from China direct to the battery manufacturers. And we know there's some very favourable government incentives federally and also in Queensland that we hope to take advantage of as we advance our project through the next stages. So the plan for Burke is we're just about to kick off a pre-feasibility study, which includes metallurgical test work that's currently underway in China. That comes up off the back of a substantial infill drilling campaign we just completed, the objective of which was to upgrade our resource from inferred to indicated category. We're expecting that upgrade to come out in the next couple of weeks. As I mentioned before, we had some spectacular intersections from that recent round of drilling, multiple intersections over 40 metres long, over 20% graphite, which is almost unheard of in the graphite industry. So we're really excited by the potential from this project. And we're sort of aiming to get our pre-feasibility study on this, which will focus on the mine, the production of graphite concentrate, and ultimately the downstream production of purified spherical graphite as well. In addition, we have some significant upside potential at the Corella prospect, which is located south of Burke. We've previously done a fair bit of geophysics and rock sampling on this, and all the indications are that this could be another deposit of graphite that could be comparable to Burke in terms of size and grade. So we're just about to start a 2,500 metre drilling campaign there once the rain stops in Queensland, and that gives us the potential to, I guess, hopefully substantially increase the resource inventory that we have available for our graphite business. I see I've sort of pretty much run out of time, so I'll just very quickly sort of talk to the next couple of slides. We do have a very experienced team. Most of the guys you see there, we've all got sort of over 30 years experience in the industry. Of particular note, Graham Fife, who's sitting over there somewhere, and Graham's a real gun on graphite, so if anyone here's got any questions on graphite, please visit Graham, and he'll be very happy to share his wealth of experience with you. We're also very lucky to have Murray Brooker on as a consultant. Murray has spent a lot of time in Argentina. He was the man responsible for developing the resource for Allchem in terms of their JORC resource on the same salar as us. So he's had 10 years of experience working in the Olaroz salar, and no one knows that salar better than Murray. So we're sort of really pleased to have added Graham and Murray to the team over the last 12 months. So in summary, I hope I've managed to help, giving you guys an understanding why we're sort of very passionate about the company, why we believe it's a unique opportunity for investors to invest in this space, given that we've got some very exciting projects in both the lithium and the graphite space, and there's plenty of news flow that we expect to come out over the next couple of months as we advance our drilling campaign at Olaroz in Argentina, move forward with a scoping study to evaluate the processing opportunities, and then with our graphite as we advance with our pre-feasibility study to advance the project, focusing on the development of a purified spherical graphite manufacturing facility. I think that's it. Thank you. Thanks so much.